Oh, man. Well, technical difficulties. Technical difficulties happened. Now we're back on.
Is that true? We're back on?
Yeah. That was annoying. Do you want me to give you that again?
Give you what?
The thing?
What?
Do you need that or anything? No.
Is it the same?
No, it'd be a different one. Do you want it or no?
Yeah, send it. I'll put it back out.
Oh, that's the wrong one. Fuck. Get rid of that. Hum. You want to take a break and go to the bathroom or something like that at all? Huh? Do you even remember what we were talking about?
Reddit.
That's right. Okay. Well, at least everything's saved. We're good. I'm just going to edit those together afterwards and then re-upload it. So it'll all be one. Not a big deal. Yeah, I hit the I didn't hit the end stream button. I did plug my computer in. My computer ended. I mean my computer went off. It sucks. I'm back though. Can you guys do me a favor? Can you guys please share the link to this? That'd be awesome. And if anybody wants to jump in and say some stuff or whatever, I'd love to read some of the chats. Let me throw this back into the Telegram. All right, you ready to go back into it, Ed?
Sure.
All right.
That's me.
Yay. We are back. All right, we're back. What were we talking about? Ed, we were talking about, yeah, that's right. We were talking about the market.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
So I agree wholeheartedly with what Reddit did. I'm cool with it. I don't care. Tons of people made money. Some people lost money. Not my business. But what happened was they had a margin call or short call for the fund that said that they were shorting everything, and they shorted it. And all of a sudden they lost billions of dollars because the stock went through the roof. And
Yes.
now the stock that they borrowed and sold at like $4 a share, $30 a share, whatever it was at the time, they had to buy back at $300, $400, $500 a share. And it was insane.
But what's going on with GameStop? Don't you think GameStop's is it gonna like go out of business or
No, it's
whatever?
a terrible.
It is.
It's a great
It's a
company. It was a
blockbuster.
great company, but you don't want to be the last
But are they gonna
buggy
like
whip maker. And that's what they are.
But couldn't they transition into something like a Netflix?
Well, they'd have to, but they're not Netflix, and Netflix is already Netflix.
Yeah,
so
but somehow give it to you digitally or whatever. It's like the music.
they're going to have to work it out. Right now their fundamentals aren't.
Should be able to just
anything.
download it or something like that, right?
Yeah, and but they'd have to lay claim somehow to the content. So unless they can own the content, they don't have the ability. That's why Netflix has all their own Netflix.
People
films.
don't want cartridges anymore.
No,
No,
the way
just
that it
download
is.
it
Yep.
somehow, right?
Yeah, and I think GameStop's going to have to do some radical changes, or they're going to go away. The fundamentals aren't there. It's not a sound company to invest in.
Right.
Now, at the time, it's a great company to play, and that's the difference. More people are playing the stock market now than investing. News, as soon as news comes out that a company is going to meet expectations as far as their quarterly earnings or whatever, the stock instantly goes up on the news. And then what happens is a couple of weeks later, they exceed what they said was going to happen, but the stock will go down because everything moves on the news now. The fundamentals are gone. We have derivatives of derivatives of derivatives now. So we're not investing based on a company's fundamentals and their strengths and their balance sheets anymore, and their earnings per share. We're not investing for any of those reasons. We're investing because there's an ETF that's following them and they're part of and said that it's going to be great. So we invest everything based on news rather than fundamentals anymore.
An ETF?
Yeah, electronically traded fund. So it's a group of them that come together. Like say, and they're kind of like like hedge funds, things like that, where like for example, if you were invested in Boeing when they had the crash a while ago, you got killed. I mean, if you had all these, it's a great company, but bad news, it just killed them. But if you owned the ETF with that had in its holdings Boeing and US Air and Southwest and all these other airlines, that bump really didn't hurt you all that much. So Boeing went down, but the other airlines will actually go up because Boeing went down. So, the ETFs they're good funds, and you could trade them and play them just like you do anything else. So it's all derivatives, and then you get into the whole futures trading, and it's just insanity what you can play. It's like going to Vegas or down to the Hard Rock and playing craps. You could bet anything
It's just
that you want.
gambling.
Yeah, it's the biggest
You're
casino
a
in the world.
gambler.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the deal.
Yeah. I mean, but do you win a lot?
Yeah, my son is actually killing it. I mean, he does a lot of research, and he'll hold companies, and he'll buy them based on fundamentals and what the market's doing. And so you want to get into some great companies right now. It's not, just don't overthink it. So what's going to be the biggest thing coming up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. What's going to be great? What does Elon Musk think is going to be great?
Yeah.
Electric vehicles.
Right.
What GM do? They announced by 2025, we're going to have 35 electric vehicles. GM is going to kill it. Why? Because their electric vehicles will be vehicles that people know from a company that people trust.
Yeah, because
whereas Elon Musk had to start from scratch.
Because AOC is pushing through the Green New Deal.
Oh,
that's
good
why.
Lord,
You're basically saying that. That's
crazy,
why.
bro.
That's why, right?
She's crazy.
Because the Green New Deal is being pushed through. That's why you're.
No, it's not even the Green New Deal, to be honest with you. I mean, look, I probably just bought my last gas car.
Look who invested Nancy Pelosi's husband or whatever, right?
Yeah.
They're allowed to, insider trade basically.
Yeah, no, they totally can.
They're totally allowed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, it's crazy.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
Why are they allowed to? They just passed a law that said they're allowed to.
It was the fastest law passed in both the House and the Senate.
It was?
Yeah. It was like 13 seconds. They're like, okay, ready? We're going to, we can inside trade. Yep, go. And they just were done. And, it's amazing what they're allowed to do and the carve outs that Congress has. I mean, why the heck else would you pay $2.5–3 million in a campaign and go out on a limb and put yourself out there and do all of that and spend all that money, your time, your effort, raise the funds and everything else for a job that pays $174,000 a year? I mean, Do the math.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a reason why they're willing to do it,
Mm-hmm.
and do it and do it and do it. Like I told you when you get into
Well,
political printing, I'm like, you got to do this. There's a lot of money in it, and people will do it over and over and over again.
nice. What about you actually ran, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What tell us about that. You ran for Congress. I know you talked about it before, but you ran for Congress like 10 years ago?
Yeah,
Something
2008 was the first time that I ran.
That was the first time you ran.
Yeah, I ran.
Before you ran, that was the first time you ran for anything?
Anything.
In 2000.
Anything.
Okay. Before that, did you think about running?
No.
At some point?
Never.
No?
Never, ever, ever. I voted occasionally, mostly, kind of, here and there. But I wasn't involved in politics. In fact, it was one of those things where I knew that I would never do that. I couldn't do that. I have way too many skeletons. These people are going to go after me. It's going to be nasty. I'm just not going to do it. And then I was doing work at a VA hospital. I saw the abuse that was going on there. And when I saw the abuse...
What was going on there?
First of all, the theft. I mean, they have what's called use it or lose it. So if their budget is $104 billion for the VA hospital, and the one in Miami that was run by this woman, Mary Baracall, she knew what was going on and all of the theft and the abuse of our veterans and did nothing. And it's congressional record. She was excoriated by Congress. What they do, they didn't fire her because she's a government worker and she's a woman and she's Hispanic. They promoted her out of there. And she was running Vision here. The woman is literally evil. I just don't care. I mean, and it's congressional record. It's not me saying it. So, you know, if you doubt me, it's Mary Baracall, Miami VA. Look what she said in Congress. Look what they did to her. She knew veterans were being exposed to hepatitis A, B, and AIDS in equipment that was not clean. She knew it. She covered it up. And it's vile what these people do. And they can get away with it. So I watched them literally at the West Palm VA, brand new walkers, canes, computers, desks, brand new. Go into the warehouse, come out of the warehouse, get thrown in the dumpster. Brand new.
What?
Literally brand new,
Why?
thrown in the dumpster. Because they had a budget and they had to spend the budget. And if they did not spend all of their budget, they would not get that much money. They get less money the next year. It's just like what we do now. We don't have any budgets in the United States.
Yeah, but why wouldn't they donate it? Why wouldn't they give it to somebody or something?
No, they can't. And that's what I said. Why don't you do that? They said, we can't. I said, well, then just leave it on the side. I'll take it and donate it. And they're like, nope, it's got to be in a dumpster. So my guys would go dumpster diving, pull out brand new stuff. I used to campaign.
What would be the
Walker.
reason behind that? Would be like somehow the serial number would get back or something like that, right?
Something like that. And they had to get rid of the stuff. It couldn't be tracked where they.
Why would they let you in on the scam?
They didn't let me in on a scam. I just happened to be working there and saw it. I mean,
I know
was consulting
exactly.
there. And so, you know, I was like, no, this is wrong.
My friend, well, not my friend, my cousin, he married my cousin, Morgs. He explained it like this. This is what Trump is. Basically, if you had a scam going on with your buddy at work or something like that, and then the new guy is hired, and then the new guy sees the scam going down, right? At that point, you have two options. You could either let your buddy in on it or he's going to rat you out, right? Yeah. And that's what Trump is.
Yeah.
Trump was like, no, fuck that. I'm not down with that. I'm gonna rat you out. Basically.
No, and that's what he did. And that's why he's hated. He's hated by the guys that were performing the scam or, running the scam. Mm-hmm. And that's what they do.
But that's basically what you saw it was
in
the
brutal.
VA.
The abuse of our veterans. When I see them lying in pools of their own urine and nurses just don't give a crap about them, I got pissed off. So I went and visited my congressman. It took me a couple tries to find him because I wasn't politically involved. And I did live in an area where it's right on the crux of 3 different districts. And
so it's weird. Yeah. Trying to find the right person who actually.
And I got in touch with him. I sent him a letter. He sent me a letter back, or his staff did. We'll look into it. Thank you so much for getting in touch. Nothing happened. I'm like, okay, you're not looking into it very, very well. You're really bad at looking into it. And I got pissed off. So finally I found out where he was going to go. I went to a fundraiser. I gave him $25, which is not a lot for a congressman. But I'm like, hey, that gets me in. It was in this beautiful mansion down in Miami. We had killer wine, hors d'oeuvres, and everything. I listened to this guy who I actually liked talk for a few minutes. I was going to call him a schmuck. He's kind of schmucky. I got some killer stories about stuff. But I listened to him talk, and I was like, this is my guy? No wonder nothing's getting done. So I came back to Palm Beach County after being there and meeting with him, and I went to the Republican guy and said, who's going to run against him? And they said, oh, no one runs against him. You can't win in this county. I said, okay, I may not be able to win, but I'll get rid of the guy because I'm pissed off that he's not doing anything to help our veterans. And so I wound up running in a district that I could not win. It's like impossible to win. I told you that when you thought Laura
Which
was
was
win.
District 21.
No, it's now 21. It used to be 19 when I ran.
Okay, they gerrymandered it.
Yeah.
And now it's 21.
Yeah.
How many districts were there before? They had a 21,
They
but it
just
was somewhere
rearranged it.
else? Where was it?
No, they just rearranged
Where
it.
was 21 before?
21 was south of
It
us.
was?
Mm-hmm. I think that was Debbie Wasserman Schultz district, who was just useless as tits on a bull.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. We all hate her. Let's not get into that. She's the horrible person.
Yeah.
Anyway, but back to running District 21. So you were running in 19, but it incorporated places that are now 21.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And so basically, and that was, you ran in Loomer's district, right? I mean, kind of.
No, she ran in mine.
She ran in yours.
Yeah, because I actually lived here, so she would, represent
That's
me.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Right. So what happened? You first of
I
all,
lost.
you told me right from the get-go, right?
Yeah.
That she was going to lose.
Yeah, but no, politics isn't hard. It's literally not hard. We win a lot of races, and we consult for people and do a lot of different things in politics. And it's not that I want to say yay me, we're always right. It's just that it's really not that hard. The numbers are the numbers; they don't lie. I called the number, and you remember, I said this is what percentage of the vote she's going to get.
Yeah, like what did you say? How much?
I said it would be a miracle
did you
if
call
she
it
got
perfectly?
40%.
You called it perfect?
I said she'll get between 37 and 40%. 40 would be a miracle.
Yeah.
She didn't get 40%.
No,
she got just under.
Which is because we're in a D9.
So when I ran, it was a D25. We turned it into a D12 after I ran.
You did?
Yep. And then it became a D9. They said it was a D6. It's not a D6. It's probably
so. It's
D9,
actually
D12.
you guys are actually doing some kind of good, or no?
Yeah, we let people know what the deal is, and I don't like Republicans. I don't like Democrats. I don't like either one of them. Issues are issues. When I used to campaign, I would go out and say, I would go into the heart of the beast. I mean, I would go to the senior citizen areas, these little developments where I was spit on. I mean, they literally spit on me. And, I would say to someone, give me $20. And someone would give me $20. I'd rip it up, throw it on the floor. And they'd be looking at it going, now these are people, hey, spread the wealth, bro. Don't worry about it. And so they would stare at the $20 the whole time. Why? Because they care about their money. That's the deal. Everyone cares about their own money. Even though they're saying, no, we don't care. We're going to spread the wealth. We're going to do this, that, and the other thing. And that my point, in doing that was, look, you care about money. You care about the finances. Well, guess what? It's your money that you're giving to the federal government, and they're ripping it up and pissing it away. And that's the deal. When you think about like Keynesian economics, everyone says, give the money to the government will invest in different things, and the economy will bloom. No, because the government first has to take out their blood money, their cut of it, to pay themselves, to all the graft that they do. No, let people in our country, let us keep the money. We'll invest it. How will we invest it? Going to McDonald's if you're poor, going to Ruth's Chris, Capitol Grill if you're rich, going, buying a Toyota if you're poor, buying a Rolls Royce if you're rich. But people will invest their own money into the economy. How much of their own money? All of it. Everything that goes into the economy that people invest in it is all of it. It's 100%. Give it to the government, 2%, 5% will get invested back into the government where they'll overpay and they'll piss away money. It's insane. Let people have their money. That's why when taxes go down, more money. This is crazy. Taxes go down. How does the government make money? Only one way. Taxes. There's no other way. When people come in, presidents and Congress and whatever, and lower taxes, the government coffers actually increase because people are making more money. So even though they're paying a lower percentage in taxes, they're paying more in taxes, and they're happy to do it because they're making more money and they're getting to keep more of their own money. And, so we need to let people have their money. Let people have their say. Let them spend it. The worst thing, and Ronald Reagan used to always say this, or maybe he said it once. He said, the worst possible thing, the biggest, scariest thing that you could possibly hear is a knock on the door and have the person say, I'm from the government, I'm here to help you. The government is not here to help us. The government is here to help themselves.
What's the point of the government then?
it's
Why does the government exist?
it's
Why
for
do
the
we have
good
a
of
government?
the welfare of the people of the
Do you
of the
think
nation.
that the government? Yeah,
Yeah, there's a role for the government. Don't get me wrong.
there is.
We have people that need help. We need to help those people. We have poor people. We have old people. They need to have help. We need an infrastructure in our country, which actually does generate revenue, for everyone else, all of the people in our country. We need laws. We do. I mean, it's just the way that it is. We maybe don't need as many as we have, or the stupid laws that we have that protect lawyers.
You know that there's a thing with laws, right? Once something becomes a law, you can't get it off the books. You
No.
can't make it non-law. There's like a thing with
Well,
that.
you can make a new law that will offset that law, that will cancel that law out. But there's laws on the books and I won't get into it.
Yeah, the blue states.
No, just laws on the books that it's against the law in West Virginia right now for a black man to marry a white woman or a white woman to marry a black man.
What?
It's against the law.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. But because of the civil rights movement and the Civil Rights Act of the 70s, that, by the way, Democrats voted against,
That offset the law.
the federal law trumps that law.
Do you know anything about the 14th Amendment?
A little bit about the 14th Amendment.
Yeah, that was the race. That was what was the 14th Amendment? Somebody told me like it all stems back to the 14th Amendment somehow.
What does?
Everything. I don't know.
I like the First Amendment, the Second Amendment. We got to be careful with the Fifth Amendment and infringing upon our rights.
Mm-hmm.
The 12th Amendment was
Fourth
something
Amendment
that just came out.
Fourth Amendment is all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States. There's a bunch of different sections. I don't know what this person was talking about.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's talking about. I can't talk about that.
Anyway,
I don't know what he's talking about.
My bad.
Yeah.
But what's the point of the government?
Yeah, it's just to help.
I mean,
help us where we need help and stay out of our business.
Why
where
did we
don't
set
need
up
help.
the government when we started this country? Basically, we came over
Well, you
here.
need a set of
there were
rules.
kings. There were a bunch of kings, and it's not even that long
Well,
ago.
one guy.
Right? This wasn't even that long ago. We always think like it's so long ago. I mean, my grandfather was born in 1919, right? I mean, that person affected me, right?
Sure.
And then think about what his grandfather, when was he born, right? It doesn't take that long to get back to 1776. So it really wasn't as long as we think. I mean,
Yeah.
we're only here for a blip and then we're gone. So, but these guys came over here. They were tired of kings and all these other things, right? And we set up this government for the people, by the people,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
And now we let these Congress people in, and it has devolved into this rampant capitalism that's like a fucked up kind of capitalism.
no,
I
capitalism is great.
No. But
Greed is good.
when it gets into the government like it has, I mean, we are in what I call an inverted dictatorship. They say that Trump is a dictator. Well, that's bullshit. The truth is it's an inverted dictatorship where all these Congress people are all bought and paid for and they're owned. And then look what they did to Trump.
Well,
They took him right out.
We're not a democracy, and that's one of the
We're in
biggest
a republic. We're a
fallacies.
republic.
We're a democratic republic.
Correct.
So the republic, they're supposed to represent us. They're supposed to, because we can't go to Washington, D.C. and make laws and do that. You're only supposed to go for a short period of time. Think about what we have. We have the exact same thing in Florida on a smaller scale as the federal government. So we have session. What session is when the representatives, the state reps, go to Tallahassee with the state senators who also go to Tallahassee, and that's the period of time that they make law. And then what do? If you're a state senator, you don't make, or a state rep, you don't make that much money, so you come back to your district where you have an office set up, and you listen to people, but you have your job, your real day job, and you make, I don't know, 20 grand a year. I don't know, it's some like little number. And then the state senators make a little bit more, and they have an office, and they help more people so that they can have representation more. It's the same thing that we do, and we have the governor who signs our bills into law that the senators put forward, and we have the lobbyists come and talk to the senators, and each rep can have 6 bills that they put forward. It goes into committee. It's a mini United States. It's exactly the same way, for arguments purposes. It's the exact same way that the federal government is supposed to work. It works better on the state level. We also have a balanced budget here in Florida. Federal government has no freaking clue what a balanced budget is. They run on a continuing resolution, which is what I was talking about before with the VA hospital. They say, how much money did you use last year? Oh, we used $3 trillion. Well, we have inflation, so we're going to give you $3.2 trillion this year. Yup, because I used it all. We don't have a budget. We operate on continuing resolution. We just say, yeah, this is how much we had last year. We got to get more this year. And it's just insane. So these guys, that's their job. Congress, their main job, other than to pass laws, which they pass stupid laws, is to control the purse strings of the United States.
Human beings, all we do is we consume things. It's all about consumption, and we want more consumption.
That's like a Twilight Zone episode.
We want more consumption every year.
Yeah, I mean...
From 3 to 3.2 because of inflation, because of consumption, right?
Well, it's because of their consumption, not our consumption. That's the thing. They're taking more and more of it and getting a bigger cut of our money every year. And they're getting brazen with it now. How the hell do these freaking people go into office worth nothing? And they come out of office worth millions and tens of millions.
But even if you don't get into office, we were talking about Karen Giorno, right? I mean, you know.
Politics is a dirty business, and politics is a business where it's a business. Like I told you.
It's a business.
Make T-shirts. You'll make T-shirts this year.
She probably made a lot of money, on the Loomer campaign.
She made a ton of money on the Loomer campaign. She made a ton of money on
the Loomer campaign.
On a campaign that she's smart enough to know she wasn't going to win.
But it's all sales.
No, Steve made a lot of money.
It's all sales. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just selling yourself and that's it.
But
and then everybody's
the people aren't
selling
buying it. You can't sell something to someone that's no one's going to buy. You know, it's like trying to go to a colony of armless people and sell them gloves.
I was all in. You were talking about the girls that had no business getting into politics. That was me.
Business. They just didn't know that much, and then they think they know something.
Yeah, but God
love them. I love them to death because people need to have a voice. I love to see you're involved.
But the point is, I was making T-shirts for Loomer. I got into all that, right?
Yeah.
And I saw that whole thing.
Yeah.
Right to the very bitter end. And she was sitting there at that final, when everybody's tallying all the votes and stuff on election night, shaking everybody's hand and being completely professional and smiling for the camera and keeping it all together, right? I mean, to go through all that, and then but when that started, you said she ain't got a chance to win it all.
No, first day that you told me.
Yeah.
She's running. Will you support her? I'm like, nope.
And I was making shirts for her, right? So
good for you. You made a few dollars.
No, but I wanted her to win. And I really think that she would have been a great, we need that, talk about every action yields equal opposite reaction. We need equal AOC type character in there.
We don't need our own AOC.
We need the Republican AOC, and that's what she would have been. She would have been there, but
we need
she's
to get
smart.
rid of the Democrat AOC.
And she would have been kicking it to the man right now.
How many issues
and I really
did she
think
have?
that they probably
How many issues did she have?
They probably robbed her of the election too.
No.
There probably was some voter fraud happening too.
Ever. No, in fact, once we got rid of the crooked Susan Booker, we're good with election fraud here. You got rid of what's the crazy lady down in Broward?
How convenient.
Yeah, Brenda Snipes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why Trump wound up winning Florida, because two of the biggest counties, Palm Beach and Broward, didn't have the two crookedest freaking election supervisors. Oh, Susan's brutal, terrible, horrible. The corruption is just rampant between those two. How is it that we have someone in now, Fink, Wendy's doing a great job. She was able to get the results out just like that.
We know that Florida is a complete and total cesspool as far as politics is, though. I mean, everybody...
In certain counties, sure.
Have you ever read Carl Hyacint's works?
Yeah,
he always talks about it.
I oppose Carl Hyacin. Yeah, I actually got one of his books banned from being required reading in the school.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't good reading for kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happened?
Kids just don't need to hear that. My daughter came to us. It was, I think it was Blue Eyes or something like that.
Okay.
My daughter came to me and said, Daddy, this is required reading, and I don't think that I'm comfortable reading it. She gave it to me. I looked at it, and I was like, no, this is bad. I don't need to hear about blowjobs and sex against the cooler and effing this. And so I made copies of those pages.
But it's about Florida.
I don't care.
Oh, okay.
So I went to the school board, and I said, and I couldn't say the stuff because there were kids there. So I was prepared to read it word for word to the school board. And I handed out the stuff highlighted and underlined. And for 11 years, this book was required reading. And, it's not that I shield my kids but there are certain things that I just don't think should be required reading and should be justified. I don't think that men should pee in girls' bathrooms and vice versa. I think it's insane. and there is
Yeah,
a
but
slippery
what's the
slope in
difference
politics.
between that and then banning like a Mark Twain book? Like,
No, huge difference. I don't, if someone wants to teach their kids about blowjobs, then they could teach them in their own home. But don't subject my kids because you think that you want to be a liberal, righteous kind of whatever the hell you want to be, and you think your kids need to know that.
so
Maybe
Tom
they do,
Sawyer,
but my kids don't.
Tom Sawyer says the N-word in it.
Sure.
So that's okay? Because they wanted to ban that. Are you?
Yeah. No, I'm not.
I was against that. I didn't like that they banned.
No, I don't think that we should ban everything,
because I
believe that there's certain things that we should.
That word in the context of historically when it happened and stuff, that was taking that American literature, which is what it is, that's great American literature, and they're saying that you're not allowed to have that. So I'm just trying to figure out what the difference is between that and then banning Carl Hyacin.
No, I didn't go to ban Carl Hyacin. I went to ban a book that I thought was inappropriate for my children that was there for 11 years. In fact, I'll prove it that it wasn't me just, because I'm pretty.
What's the book called?
I think it was Blue Eyes or something like that.
Okay.
I can't remember now, or Lucky something. I don't remember. I'll look it up though and I'll get it to you.
No, I'm sharing the screen.
I went and I read it to the school board, and I had to stop reading it when I got to the nasty parts. And the school board, the superintendent came over to me and he's like, dude, thank you for sharing this. Thank you for telling. The book was banned just like that. I'm not for banning books. I just don't think that should be required reading. If someone wants to teach it in their home and let their kids read it, God bless them. But not, that's not what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I not for my kids. And it's the same thing with, men going and peeing in girls' bathrooms. It's wrong. I don't care. I'm not approved by any stretch of the imagination. But there's no way that we should allow this. And there's a slippery slope that happens in politics. And there are people that are waiting in the wings that are far left, far right, they're crazy, waiting for an opportunity for something to happen so that they could jump on the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Because it's the same thing with gay marriage. I'm not a gay. I don't care who gets married and who doesn't. If you love someone, God bless you.
How old was she at the time?
She was, I think, a sophomore in high school.
Sophomore in high school?
Yeah.
Why do they have that? I mean, I had to read the book or something like that to really, because I don't know. I don't know about this. I don't know. I guess, shit.
Look, it could be right for your kids and it could be wrong for someone else's kids. Let me make that decision as a parent.
Yeah.
And it's, I raise my kids the way I choose to raise my kids. Government should not be involved in that. They shouldn't be involved, not in the least bit about that. I don't need to have forced down my kids' throats anything that offends me. Sorry, as a parent, I have the responsibility to raise them. And I raised amazing kids. I mean, they're awesome. Yeah. They're respectful. They're successful. They're just brilliant children. I love them. And it has probably less to do with me, to be honest with you. They're probably just, God, I was just lucky with the kids that he gave me.
No.
But the truth of the matter is, I have that responsibility, not the government. And that's one of the problems that we have in society today is, too many kids aren't raised and by parents. And I remember when I was coaching my kids.
But don't you think that it's hypocritical at all based on all these other people that are always getting offended by everything?
I can't stand people that are offended by everything.
I know, but you got offended by a book and you didn't allow, I don't know. But it's required reading that's the thing. Like, why are you making it required reading? Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have a choice. You should have a choice. If you don't want to read this one, you read this one.
Well, here's
something
the thing.
like that, right?
Well, no, there is a list of books.
This one's a little racy.
There was a list of books.
Why don't they give it a rating or something like that, like an R rating?
Maybe they should, but was I the first parent that ever
questioned it?
Yeah, well, I was.
I know.
And here's the thing. So it's not me getting rid of a book. I read the book to them. You could look up in the
that's so insane. I can't believe you did that.
I read it to them.
You went right in there. You read the whole thing.
It's gone. So I didn't ban it.
But she brought it to your attention, though. Yeah. She was like, "Hey, and that's because you raise her right." She noticed that she noticed herself and then tipped you off.
Yeah.
Right?
No, that was the deal. And then I felt bad actually because I'm like, maybe I should have proofread the book before I said you go ahead and do it. But
But you're never gonna be able to save their eyes from seeing all the
No, and
stuff.
I don't. I let my kids eat dirt. I let them be exposed to the real world, but I also don't feel the need to have them exposed to old men going in to pee next to my daughter, because quite frankly, and this is the truth, and I don't care, and people will get offended. This is what I do. It's my spiritual gift. It's my superpower at offending people. But if you're a dude that goes to pee in a freaking girl's bathroom, you're a disgusting pervert. That's the way that it is. I don't care. It's the truth. You know, if you can't go in a guy's, there's two sexes. That is it. There's he's and there's she's, and you were born as
What
one
about
or the other.
You know Melinda, who walks road down here. You know her name.
No.
But you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've seen her. Yeah.
Okay. But
him.
That person.
It's a dude.
Actually got the thing.
I don't care. If you cut my arm off, I'm still a dude. You cut my nose off, I'm a dude. You cut my leg off, I'm a dude. You cut my pecker off, I am still a dude without a pecker. That's just the way that it is. And if you're born with a vagina, you are a girl. You may not like the fact that you're a girl. You may not want to be a girl. You may not feel like a girl. You may feel like a boy. You may identify as a Martian. I don't care. The truth of the matter is you are a girl. That's it. There are two sexes, done and done. And when we start going and watering down everything and saying, yeah, this is what you can accept this. Look, we accept the people. We love the people, but we don't got to like what they do. We don't got to agree with what they do. So stop trying to force down my throat the fact that you're insecure about your own consciousness, about your own feeling of self-worth, of whatever it is that you have in your hangups. Don't try to make me accept that. I'll accept you. I will love you. I will help you out if you need help. But I'm not going to help you or not help you because of your perceived sexual orientation.
If you became friends with Melinda and she asked you...
It's a dude.
Would you please call me she? If she asked you, and you guys were friends, and you built some kind of, mutual respect for each other based on something you wouldn't even realize. Somehow you saw that person doing something redeeming, and you guys became friends somehow. And she asked you, would you please refer to me as she? Would you do it?
I would do the exact same thing I've done with you. Have I ever referred to you as saying, Bobby, you're a he? No. Stop trying to force this crap down my throat. I'll address you. You can call. I don't care what your name is. I mean, there's dudes that have girls' names and girls that have, like Roberta is, they call him Bobby, but you're Bobby. So if I call a girl Bobby, am I offending her? No, that's just her name.
So you just use the name.
I don't care what the name is.
You just use the name
but
of the person.
I'm not going to say, I've never said, excuse me, she. I mean, maybe you'll say miss. But if I see a dude that looks like a dude, I'm going to go, yo, dude, what's going on? Sorry. I mean, I don't care if you're wearing a dress. I'll still say dude.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, don't be a dude. What do you want me to tell you?
So
but
you wouldn't do that. If you're...
But I wouldn't go purposely
I'm just asking you. No,
but I wouldn't go to purposely offend someone and hurt someone.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that either. Mm-hmm. But, I'm not the one making it weird.
Because that dude, works down over at the, the barber shop over there.
Yeah.
And I get my hair cut and stuff. The dude is cleaning stuff up or whatever. And, you're like, hey, you'd be nice. Can't
be nice what? You just say, hey,
jerk.
How you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, how many times do I say, hey, Bobby, how are you? Hey, dude, I really don't. Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
I mean,
you just say what's going on.
Yeah. And it's not because I'm like, I don't want to offend Bobby because he's looking especially effeminate today.
What?
I don't say that.
What? What are you talking about?
I'm just saying, sometimes you're a little effeminate, but I'm not like, all right, maybe I should call her or she.
Sometimes I'm a little effeminate.
I'm only breaking balls.
I was like, what the?
You went through the long hair phase.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was just to annoy me because look, I'm growing it.
I still have it.
Yeah.
I did it because of Trump.
Yeah. Well, whatever. But yeah, it's just, I think that too many people get offended too easily nowadays. And, and they try to justify and feel justified in how they're feeling about themselves by trying to force it down society's throat. And I just don't agree with it. Which is our right to do or not do, as the case may be.
Yeah.
So I think we've just become so easily offended about everything nowadays. And as soon as you say racist, really? I mean, it's got nothing to do with nothing. It's just like I said with Trump in the beginning. He wasn't racist until he ran for president. Here's a guy doing tons of stuff with black people, white people, Asian people, orange people. I don't even know. Who cares? He
was totally awesome. He was in rap music and he was in TV shows.
Yeah, and the thing is, black people don't own stupid. White people don't own stupid. Nobody owns stupid. You're either a good person or a bad person. If you're a bad person or a stupid person, if you happen to be black, I'm not being racist. You're just stupid. If you happen to be white, I'm not being anti-racist or racist. You're just stupid. You are free to be stupid no matter what color your skin is. We all bleed red. That's the deal. And half the people, I wouldn't even know they were black if they didn't keep telling me that they were black. I don't need to hear it. I'm not looking at, just like I don't look at Melinda as, it's just a person. I don't give a crap. But as soon as you start force feeding me your particular viewpoint of how you should be treated. Look, I wasn't treating you bad before. Don't make me treat you bad because you're being an idiot. Mm-hmm. Don't be stupid and I'll treat you fine. And right with politics, that's identity politics. That's how they win. Oh, look, this side hates you. Oh, look, these guys hate you. They hate you because of the color of your skin, who you worship, everybody. They're so easily offended nowadays. And it used to never be like that. But now, again, because of the media, we can just instantly offend people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
I'm offended that you called me effeminate.
Yeah, I see. Now look.
Yeah, now you got me thinking and stuff. I'm like, do I really? Do I act like that? What the hell?
Yeah, so now, now you're going to be all pissed off and, call me a racist. Or,
no.
Case may be.
I'm not going to. I'm just going to, smoke more weed and try to pretend like I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I got to get over it. That I don't think it's good for you. It makes you cough.
Makes you effeminate.
It totally does. Right? That's the thing.
Does it?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that what does it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
I'm saying, look, there you go coughing about that. It's not good for you. There, you can't stop coughing. I knew you were going to cough again.
Now I'm good.
I feel another one coming.
Nope. 4.
And, it's a phallic thing. I'm just saying. So, you want to talk about the
That's true.
effeminate thing?
That's true. That is true.
Maybe you read a Carl Hyacin book and now you're thinking about that whole thing.
See, that's what you got. It's kind of like but the bottle's phallic too. So there you go. But no, I don't think the Carl Hyacin thing. You got offended by the Carl Hyacin thing. That's what it was.
No, I got offended that my daughter was offended.
Huh?
I got offended that my daughter was offended.
Yeah.
And that it was required for her to be offended. And my daughter's not, my kids aren't prudy. I let them live their lives.
Can somebody who's effeminate be an alpha?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm like metrosexual.
Yeah.
I like jewelry and I like shopping and, what everyone considers girly things, which by the way, I don't know why girls have to own the fact that they can like shoes. I love shoes. I grew up so poor. I had no shoes. Now I love shoes. I love shoe shopping.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I love pretty things. I like to smell nice. I like cologne.
Mm-hmm.
I call it perfume. So yeah, I'm completely metrosexual.
Yeah, no, that's good, dude. That's all good stuff to do anyway.
Yeah. No.
What do you like, Aldo?
No.
You don't go to Aldo?
No.
What kind of shoes?
I like
very expensive shoes?
Yeah. And here's the thing. I have shoes that are 30 years old. I have Ferragamos and Gucci's.
Okay, I've heard of Ferragamo. Yeah.
Yeah, they're on that island over there.
Yeah, you go over there?
Yeah.
You ever go to the secondhand store over there? The Church's one?
No.
Whatever? Huh?
No.
There's a good secondhand. That's right.
I don't know. I don't want to like where all the people stink.
I know, but come on,
No. That's why I don't get massages. I don't like people touching me. Yeah, I'm like, no, leave me alone.
There's a spot you probably went there. It was a spot in like Boynton or whatever. There's a closed. What is that place? Damn, Mr. Sunshine goes there all the time.
Oh, I don't know.
No,
a friend of mine's got a shop on Worth Avenue. If you got a lot of money, go to Worth Avenue.
So that's where you shop.
No, I don't shop there. No. But I would love to. I mean, it's Giorgio's. He's got amazing clothes and crocodile covered everything, but you buy a sport coat, it's like $70,000, literally $70,000.
Listen, you got the NFL alumni hat on. Let's talk about football for a second. We just Super Bowl just
Super
past
Bowl was
weekend,
great,
right?
I loved it.
It was great.
Yeah,
but they were like, honestly, man, there was some crazy stuff though. Like on the halftime show, some people were talking about how if you see
no, that was from 1991. No, not 91, but it was a previous
the subliminal
concert. No, it wasn't subliminal.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
No, I mean, except for the fact that they're wearing jocks on their faces, which was just stupid.
Yeah,
there was no Satan flashing thing. That was another thing.
That was a conspiracy. That was BS.
You know, it happened, just not at the Super Bowl.
But
it was
not-
like a couple years ago or something.
Really?
Yeah. No, I had to look it up, and I was like, all right, well, and there it is right there.
Oh, my
Perfect
God.
example of what I said before.
Oh, my God.
People took that happened a couple years ago. They said, look what just happened to the Super Bowl. And everyone that was for it, maybe Satanists or whatever, they just went, that's not true. And it's not. It didn't happen at the Super Bowl. It was a couple years ago or
No
whatever.
kidding.
Last year.
I didn't realize it.
Yeah,
but
I have no idea.
there, I don't know. I
No,
see
the Super Bowl shows
I see a lot of halftime
shows suck.
that are pretty weird. And
No, it
they
sucked. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, it was. Game was good, though.
Yeah.
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 No,
that
Tom
guy,
Brady,
The
good for him.
Weekend, that guy, The Weekend, he looks like a cross between Tyler Perry and Michael Jackson.
Yeah, sure, I guess so.
Yeah, you probably don't know. Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, he's Tyler Perry, Michael Jackson.
I
dude.
didn't
couldn't
like,
believe that he had that many, hits or whatever. Damn. I actually heard all those songs. I'm like, wow.
I know it's like Kelly
I don't even know
Clarkson.
this person.
Kelly Clarkson's like someone I'll hear a song. I'm like, oh, who sings that? Kelly Clarkson sings everything.
Really?
Yeah, she's like amazing.
Well, The Weeknd sings a lot of stuff, but so yeah, the
Totally
game was
effeminate there. Here I am praising Kelly Clarkson.
the,
I like rock and roll.
but no, I don't know. Effeminate is like how you act, though, right? I mean, it's not like you talk about like a subject or whatever, right? I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't-
I'm going to talk about anything. I don't care.
No, did you see
go
the
there.
commercial with Gronk? Gronk and Brady?
No.
Commercial's awesome. You got to look it up.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. They were talking on the phone, and so they said, well, here's Gronk talking to Tom Brady, and they're talking to each other, and so Gronk was saying all this stuff. You got to come down to Florida. It's awesome. It's really great down here. It'll make you soft, or something like that. And they go, here's what Tom Brady
Can
heard.
I put it on really quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll play it.
You can find it. It's freaking awesome.
I got it right here. let me play it. The big game ad?
I think that's it.
Gronk,
No?
What up, TB?
what do you think my next move should be?
Yes,
Give it to me
this is
straight.
it.
Maybe it's just time I hang him up.
I got one word for you. Retirement. If you retire now, you're gonna be walking on soft sand in a week. Just come to Florida and feel the wind in your hair. Retirement is like winning another one. Maybe I'll even join you.
On the Spotty Network, this is what Tom heard.
If you retire now, you're soft and weak. Just come to Florida and win another one. Maybe I'll even join you.
Just go win another one.
Like it's that easy, Gronk. Maybe it is. I still feel like I have a lot to accomplish.
My goal is to win one more.
And Gronk's coming with me.
I'm retired from retiring?
Mom, where are my football pants?
Don't trust big decisions to just any network. Go with
Yeah.
T-Mobile, the
Makes
GOAT
sense.
in 5G.
Listen to this part.
Oh, I just stopped it.
Oh, no, it's really good because then at the end, Brady goes, and I'm not soft and weak.
God.
Yeah. No, it was a great commercial. And look, I'm so happy for him. The guy's a stud. Everyone down here, everyone hates him because, Patriots, and the Dolphins hate anything Patriots because I guess they get beat all the time. And they say Marino was the best quarterback. He was not the best quarterback. Killer arm. He was too selfish, and that's why he's got, how many Super Bowl rings does he have? Oh, 0. That's right. He's got 0 rings. Whereas Brady, 7.
Now, do you think that Brady was Brady and it really wasn't Belichick as much?
Well, clearly that was proven this year, 1,000,000%.
Wow.
And why? Because they hired Cam Newton, who's a Marino guy.
Or maybe, what is it that he learned? Maybe he learned from Belichick and he brought all that knowledge over there. And Jesus.
No, I'm sure there's some of that. But the truth of the matter is Brady allows others to elevate their game to a level that they may not have been able to do under someone like Marino or someone like Cam Newton. Cam Newton, probably one of the most gifted, most talented quarterbacks ever to play the game as far as natural, God-given athletic ability. He's got a cannon. He can run, but he epitomized who he is and why he'll never win a Super Bowl. This year, early in the season, it was 1st and goal on the 1-yard line. He called his own number 4 times in a row. That's the deal. Marino has so many statistics throwing the ball. Why? Because he never wanted to hand it off to anyone. They're like, oh, he didn't have the O-line because he couldn't get those guys. There's no one in the NFL that sucks. No one. No one is a terrible quarterback. No one. If you make it to that level, you're an amazing athlete. And then it comes down to heart. It comes down to teamwork. It comes down to, obviously, the skill set and the coaching. There's a lot of that involved. But it comes down to being inspired that when you're sitting in that huddle or you're standing in that huddle across from someone, whether you like them or don't like them, that you're willing to die for them at that given point in time. When you're willing as a lineman to say, no one's going to touch my quarterback. When you as a quarterback say, you know what, I'm going to do my best to throw the perfect pass, and I'm going to wait, even if I have to take this hit, I'm going to wait for the play to develop and the wide receiver to do what he needs to do. If you're a wide receiver or running back, you're willing to give up and wait for the play to develop and understand it's not you. It's the quarterback that is throwing to you, because there's only one play in all of pro football that cannot be defended against, and that's the perfect pass. A perfect pass, when it just drops right in over your shoulder, you have no choice but to catch it. And so when you're a leader, like Brady is a leader, and you're able to elevate others around you to work beyond their physical capacity, beyond their mental capacity, when you're able to bring out the best in someone, that is an amazing leader. And regardless, whether you like Brady, you don't like Brady, whether you hate him because he's married to a supermodel and everything else. And one of the best interviews ever with him was on Howard Stern. Unbelievable interview. And the truth of the matter is, this guy is able to make winners out of every single person on his team. And he realized it's not just him. It's the team. It's everyone together. And so, no, I was glad to see him do that. I really wish he would have retired like Derek Jeter did, or like Mo Rivera did. From, you start as a Yankee, you are a Yankee, you're the captain. I wish he would have been able to do that from the Patriots. But
why?
I don't know. It's a kind of a dynasty.
Because you played for the Patriots?
They let me get beat up a couple times. Yeah, it was kind of,
Yeah.
It was great fun, and, you get hurt and break things and have bones broken and everything. So it was kind of fun. It was a great experience being able to play with guys that are that gifted. And, unfortunately you get hurt and things happen, and that's the way it is. But
did they ever have any effeminate people, guys playing?
Yeah, sure. I think I was.
They did. No, but I guess they do at some point. But nobody ever admits that or anything. It's all about
nobody cares. You're there. You have a job to do. I mean, when you go and you're printing shirts here and everything, do you go, wow, I don't know if this guy's effeminate. I don't know if this guy's this. No, you printed a damn shirt. You got a job to do. Do a job. And it's a job. And Brady's amazing. I mean, here's a guy that in the off season, what he's willing to go through and give up in order to be the type of athlete that he is. Does he have the strongest arm ever? No. Cam Newton, Doug Flutie had a killer arm. Marino, probably the best arm ever. Just the worst attitude, which is why he has 0 rings. But he has the package. He's definitely the type of guy that's going to elevate everyone else around him. And that makes him better. When you've got better receivers that are willing to take the hit in the middle. Edelman, all those times when he's going across the middle and he knows he's going to be crushed by a middle linebacker. And he knows the hit is coming. But he knows he doesn't want to let his teammates down. He doesn't want to let Brady down. And if Brady threw the ball to him, he's going to take that hit no matter what.
Edelman, that was the Patriots.
Yeah.
He didn't go to...
No.
Yeah.
But even Gronk, I mean, Gronk played for how long with a broken arm? You don't have players that are like that as much anymore. The old stories, guy broke his finger. They said he's going to be out for the game, bit his finger off. I mean, they just don't care. They're willing to play no matter what it is. They were warriors. And I love that. I love that feeling of being, with people that are like that, whether it's business or athletics. Even when I race cars and I have co-drivers, I don't want to, I want to do the best that I can for those guys. So I don't want to be the weak link. You want to accelerate your game to the level. And if you've got someone that just doesn't care, you'll be like, I don't care either. But when you've got guys that are willing to sacrifice themselves and do what they have to do, drive cars that are breaking down and the exhaust system blew up and fumes are coming in the car and you're ready to throw up every 2 seconds. And, but they're willing to do that because they don't want to let their teammates down. Mm-hmm. That feeling of camaraderie, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's like that in business.
That's why you should join the Proud Boys.
No, Proud Boys can't do it.
Why?
Because, the thing is...
still have that feeling. You could have that feeling,
No, there's some great
on
guys.
the battlefield of the rally, right?
Sure.
Come on, would you go to a rally?
A what rally?
Would
a
you
Trump
rally?
I've gone to Trump rallies.
No, but
I've gone flag waving. I've done all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. but I go as me. I go as a supporter. I don't need a group around me in this particular case. You know, I mean, obviously, if you're
In
on a
this
team,
particular case.
yeah, because I know, look what just happened in the hearings. For a couple of days, Proud Boys suck. Proud Boys are evil. Proud Boys rushed they bum rushed the Capitol, and they were seeking to kill AOC, who wasn't even there, and that little lying person. You know, here we are listening to her about the economy and finances, and she's talking about it, and people are listening. The only finances she knows about is how she's going to get her tip money out of the freaking bar where she was a bartender. I mean, that's her experience, her business experience. She's got none. But you got to be careful. The Proud Boys, they may have had a decent message. They may have been patriots. A lot of them are. You are. But the truth of the matter is, why marginalize your message? Why put yourself in a position where people are not only not going to listen to what you say, but they're going to do the opposite of what you say because of the organization you're a part of? Mm-hmm. And they did it to themselves. They literally did. They did stupid things, and they had guys that were just losers in there, and they did that are willing to just be stupid for the sake of being stupid because they can. It's like when someone agrees with the Second Amendment, and I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe in the right to carry and the right to bear arms. But when you're the ass that goes out on a bridge with an AR, because in Florida, you're allowed, if you're hunting or fishing, you can carry a weapon in the open. And so you got assholes, and that's what they are, that go on the bridges with a fishing pole in their hand, carrying an AR. Well, you're not going to shoot anything with the AR. You're making a stupid statement that you look like an ass. And that's what they do. And they
a lot of people
it.
do that, yeah.
Yeah, and they kill.
It's a Second Amendment audit.
They just kill the message and what they're trying to accomplish. They're more interested with feeling like they're the big guy, that they're making the difference. And they're not making the difference. The message is making the difference. The overall concept that they're trying to achieve might be righteous, but the way that they're trying to do it marginalizes the message to the point where the other side is willing to fight as vociferously against what you're willing to fight vociferously for. And they're just shooting themselves in the foot. Yeah, Second Amendment joke. But that's what they're doing.
It goes right back to what we were talking about at the beginning.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, you know, don't marginalize your own message. When you're righteous, be righteous and be willing to stand on the facts and the reality of what it is. You don't need to exaggerate something that's good. You really don't.
Yeah.
And you don't exaggerate something that's bad, because then everything you said is a lie.
All right. How good was this podcast? Just judge it.
This podcast, it's always great with you. We just bullshit and
it was
hang
great.
out.
It was great. It was great.
Yeah, except for the snafu in the middle. So we
That's
actually
okay.
did 2 podcasts.
We did kind of 2 podcasts, but no, it will all be one. It will all be one. But
Yeah.
But yes, we did. We did, I bet, 2 hours, I guess, because the other one was about the same thing. 57 minutes on this one. It was about the same as the other one.
Yeah. No, because it's truth. We just talk about the facts. You know,
We go from one thing to another.
And there's no agenda. We don't have an agenda. We're talking about just the real deal.
You came to me once. I was so impressed. You came to me, and I was very I don't know how to say it. I was just like, wow, that's pretty awesome that you thought of me or whatever. And you said that I should run for something. You know?
Yeah.
But
not as a Proud Boy.
Now I'll be screwed. Now I won't even be able to.
No.
Now
you shot yourself in the foot, and I told you we were going to do that.
And you said there's no way that once a group already has a certain blemish,
Yep.
you will never be able to get that blemish off.
No, unless you're a Democrat. You could do it as a Democrat, but as a Republican, you can't do it.
What do you mean?
Democrats do not care. If you have a D after your name, they will vote for you. They don't care what you stand for. Put a D after your name. You're good to go.
I got it. This is it. Check this out.
All right.
This is my game plan.
Yeah.
I'm effeminate, so I could pull this off.
I think so, maybe.
I'm gonna be a dino instead of a rhino. A
Yeah, that's the
dino.
stupidest thing there.
A dino.
Yeah, that's the stupidest thing. Rhino
I go-
saying
I go-
rhino is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I go as a Democrat in name only. That's how I run, right? It's
No,
easy.
yeah,
Listen
sure.
to me. Listen to me.
All right, give it a shot.
And then I get in.
Take the hat off. You have no
I
choice.
get in and then I pull the switcheroo. That's it.
I have no problem getting in as being elected as a Republican, switch to a Democrat, switch to an independent. I don't care. It's not going to change who I am. It's not going to change how I think about things. It's really not.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with some things with the Democrats. I agree with some things with the Republicans. I disagree with both sides too.
Yeah.
You know, reality is reality.
I'm gonna act like a liberal. I'll go back to acting like a liberal. I could do that. I remember how it was. I used to be a liberal.
You just did. You're smoking pot. It's crazy.
No, pot's
liberals
good.
love that.
Yeah, I mean that's true. That's why I could I
Yeah.
can totally do
Wear
this.
Birkenstocks. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, I bet I could. You know, everybody, I think, I guess you didn't, though. Maybe you didn't go through the phase, but I think a lot of people go through the phase of being a liberal. You know, that old adage of show me a guy who isn't a bleeding heart liberal at the age of 25.
If you're young and you're not a liberal, you have no heart.
Heart,
If you're
yeah.
old and you're not a conservative, you have no brains.
brain.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, did you go through that stage?
No, I was not political at all when I was younger.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I was
though.
busy doing stuff.
Maybe it's not even really being a liberal. Maybe it's being apolitical, and you kind of get just you really don't care about voting and stuff like that. So it's easy to
Yeah, I mean, I think I grew
Right?
up conservative.
You did?
Yeah, I think so.
So you really never went through that phase?
No.
Okay.
No, because reality is reality. I didn't care. I didn't look at things through a conservative lens or through a liberal lens or progressive or whatever you want to call it.
I just did because I was like around, look, so English.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
English degree.
Yeah.
Right? I was completely indoctrinated 100% at University of Florida.
Yeah, it happens. It's a good school though.
Yeah, but I was indoctrinated. And then went to then I went to New York, and I was around all kinds of like hippie people or whatever, right?
Sure.
And then they influence your thinking too.
I don't know.
Do you understand? I mean, that's how it is.
I never got influenced. I'm not easily
That's how
influenced.
it is. No, but I was just like, that's what it was though, And I was like on autopilot in life. And then what snapped me out of it and brought me to reality was my dad died.
Yeah, that'll.
And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
it's
that'll
not.
do it.
That's not. This is not the truth. This is the truth. The truth is, you have to if you want to make it, you got to do it on your own. You got.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what we were talking about. You said about your mother before we even started the podcast. You said you lost your mother in your 20s.
Yeah, 26.
And that did what for you?
I was such a mama's boy, and I didn't realize how much I relied on her for advice for everything. I mean, I adored my mom. And so when she died, I was forced to grow up. I'm not sure I'm still grown up yet, but I was forced to be more mature. I had custody of my little sister who was 13 years old at the time. So I went from literally the week before doing security at a Kiss concert, having the time of my life, doing whatever I wanted, to all of a sudden becoming a dad, essentially a dad figure to a 13-year-old. And, you had to grow up to a certain extent. And, it made me, I don't want to say more mature, because I still don't think I'm mature. I'm a big goofy kid, but it did make me look at things differently and take responsibility on differently and stuff like that. So
do you think that you had a change in your whole philosophy of like the political thing? You think that was tied to it too?
No, I was still apolitical then too. I did nothing in politics till I came here to Florida, and it was like 2007 where I finally, I voted now and then. I voted based on someone's sign, or if I heard of someone, or
dude, that's
their
effeminate.
name.
That's effeminate.
Yeah, sure. I'm totally metrosexual. I told you, bro. Or cis. Yeah.
No.
Whatever the case may be.
I go by bro.
All right.
Okay.
Dude ass.
Dude,
yeah.
whatever you want to say. Yeah. That's my pronoun, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Dude, I like that. I should do that as a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Our pronouns bro, because we're all brothers. Proud Boys.
Yeah.
Dude, that's kind of be
not Proud Boys.
Smart,
you got to stop with that.
Thanks for that. That's
not if you want to run.
What?
Yeah, I got to disassociate
I don't think
yourself.
so. I don't think so. I think that I'm in it basically too deep, and I'm gonna go down with the ship.
Yeah, but unfortunately, you're a good guy. That's not unfortunate, but you're a good guy. You're a smart guy that maybe people don't give you as much credit for, but you really are. And you have a good head on your shoulders. You're compassionate. You care about issues. You care about people. I saw what you went through, with Michael, and
Piazza.
Piazza, yeah,
Matthew. And everybody says that because I'm Mike Piazza.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what I was thinking. But, I saw what you went through with him, and I've watched you turn this business around when you literally could have just said, screw it, I'm done.
I felt like that.
Yeah. No, I know. And so, I watched you bear it out, and you have, and you
didn't even want to stay in the same place.
Yep.
With all the memories of a person,
No, and a great guy. So I've watched you do all this stuff and kind of mature almost. And, but the problem is within association to the Proud Boys or whatever. And you're not.
But all those associations are not correct.
I know that.
But
it doesn't matter.
You've even had Enrique
Perception
in
is
your
reality.
shop.
No, Enrique's a great guy. I mean, he burnt a flag. I'm like, seriously? They arrested the guy when he stepped across the state line because he burnt a stupid Black Lives Matter flag? I mean, quite frankly, it should be burnt. But here's the other thing.
It was hypocritical, though.
You don't get arrested for burning an American flag, but you get arrested for exercise because he stole it, I guess.
Because it came off a building or whatever.
Yeah, so what? I literally don't care. It's insane how they went after this guy to make a point. Why? Because they're doing it right now. They're using it right now. The Proud Boys went in and they rushed the Capitol building to kill AOC while she hid in the shower in her office, which is not even in the same freaking building, these liars. They're pathetic liars. And, my point is, if you want to do good, sometimes, you have to do certain things. If you want to play football, you're going to have to get hit. You're going to have to make sacrifices. You want to do anything, professionally, athletics, you have to give up stuff. You do. It's just the way it is. In business, you have to work long hours. You have to do things that you may not want to do, but do things that'll make you successful. And so, if you want to get involved in politics, you should. You're smart. You're compassionate. There's a lot of good things you can do. But unfortunately, sometimes when I consult for candidates, I'll tell them, don't use my name. Don't say you know me. Don't, because a lot of people don't like me. It's just the way that it is. And it's because maybe, I said stupid things or acted in a
you
weird
would
way.
say, as a consultant, if I decided to run, I wouldn't be able to because I would lose because of the Proud Boy affiliation.
Same thing with Laura.
That's
I told you
immediate.
since day
Boom.
one. And Lois didn't even have to run a campaign against her. Didn't have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And she and poor Laura got horrible advice. It's just the truth. And she ran a great campaign, raised a lot of money, had zero chance. And it was a poorly run campaign. And that's why I think she could have done a little bit better. But she didn't. It was a shame. Lois she bought no signs. How the heck do you run a freaking campaign? You buy no signs.
Yeah.
She didn't. I mean,
there weren't as many signs out, or maybe people were stealing.
And how many?
I don't know.
Laura's signs? Oh my gosh, they were freaking everywhere.
Did you?
Oh
really?
my gosh, they were everywhere. Yeah, so she had T-shirts everywhere, volunteers everywhere. Like I said, that girl, Kimberly killed it, man. She never involved in politics and became the most hardcore supporter for her. I mean, she convinced someone that never was in politics to go out and sacrifice for her and everything. I mean, it's a shame.
So she brought a bunch of people into it that would never.
So that's good. But
do you think Trump did that as well?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he absolutely.
Do you think that there's going to be basically the negative? There's a negative that he got. He didn't last the whole 8 years, but don't you think that he sparked something that really you can't put back, in the genie bottle?
Yeah, I mean,
it'd probably be a lot of people.
He sparked something, but unfortunately, the political machine is too big, even for Trump to take on. They went after him before he was elected.
That's why we all need to run as dinos. That's the play. I'm telling you, that's the play.
Yeah, but they sniff them out, and they just don't care. And then you become part of the machinery. I mean, look, what they did to that man, I think, is an abomination. Whether you like him, you like his tweets, whether you didn't like him, you didn't like him in business, the guy, when you run for office, you put yourself out there, and that's what he did. Whether he could afford it, whether he was doing it for his ego, it doesn't matter. When you're out there doing it, you're doing it. And it's you alone on that stage, naked. I mean, literally, that's what you feel like. And you're exposing yourself completely. And what they did to that man is an abomination. I mean, he's not the first guy to give up his paycheck. Kennedy gave up his paycheck. Washington kind of almost gave up his paycheck.
Kennedy gave up his paycheck?
Yep.
Dude.
And so what they did is an absolute abomination.
They took him out. They destroyed him. They don't kill you anymore. We witnessed another president get assassinated.
We did. And it's a shame.
He's still
an
alive.
Abomination.
He's still alive. He's still over there in Mar-a-Lago.
But they would assassinate him if they could. That's the hatred that they have for him. He's out of office. According to the Constitution, the penalty for being impeached is what? Removal of office. If you're not in office, there's nothing to remove you from. So the impeachment is all bullcrap. It's literally just hatred that they want to do. They already know they're not getting the numbers, but they just want to assassinate him, his reputation.
Politically.
They want to destroy his character. And this is a guy that put it out there. Is he cocky? Yeah. Is he a billionaire? Yeah. Is he crass? Yeah. Is he married to a supermodel? Yeah. Was he married to 3 or 2 other beautiful women? Yeah. Does he have kids with different wives? Yeah. You show me a perfect person. Look,
I like all those things.
when we had a perfect person on this earth, what did they do to him?
Killed him.
They crucified him.
Yeah.
They literally crucified him. Christ was the only perfect man, and they went after him and crucified him. Do you think any of us have a chance? We don't have a chance.
And that's what they did with Trump, too.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's a messiah. I'm not equating them.
Here's
Don't
what
get
I
me
am
wrong.
going to say. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say he's a good person. I'm going to say I genuinely believe that he is a good person, and he has like whatever God you believe in, he has that in his heart.
Sure, I know
so.
a lot of the people that are his Christian ministers. A guy down in Miami, the guy in Georgia or South Carolina, and guy in Tennessee, and I've been friends with them. And one is the one that died from COVID.
Oh my
I believe
God.
that he's spiritual, but that doesn't matter. I just believe he's a good guy, and what they did to this guy is an abomination since day one. I think they're classless. I think they're rude. I think they're animals because he dared to go against the establishment. He dared to do the things that he said he was going to do. How dare he do that? He said he was going to build a wall. He built a damn wall. He said he was going to move the embassy to Jerusalem. He did that. He said he'd take care of trade and make better deals. He did that. He negotiated deals. He was brilliant at it. He put people in, and they wanted to stay more political. He got rid of those people. I mean, or they quit because they wanted to be more political. And it's a shame what they did to this guy. And I think, was there fraud in this election? Yes, there's fraud in every election. Was it enough to overturn this election? Quite possibly. I think that we're going to see that it very well may have been. And so I don't want to be lumped in with the conspiracy theory people that are crazy and everything else. But the truth of the matter is, there was some bad crap that happened. And I think he was on the wrong end of that stick. And so I think we're going to see that he may have had the numbers in the Electoral College to beat a guy that is a senile, corrupt. He was caught on tape. He is not audio tape. He's got a videotape of him going, well, I'll be damned. What'd they do? They fired the guy. He said, I'm not giving you $1 billion. He admitted that he was not giving them $1 billion to Ukraine unless they fired the prosecutor who just so happened to be going against his filthy, animal, perverted, corrupt son, Hunter. And that's just the truth. I'm not saying, I don't care, Democrat or Republican. If that perverted scumbag was a Republican, I'd say the same damn thing. And the guy was corrupt. He has no skill set other than the fact that he was spawned by a guy that did nothing in the Senate, nothing in politics for all those years. And not only that, Biden got caught lying 1 million times. Oh, I graduated at the top of my law class with 27 degrees. And forget the fact that I plagiarized everything. My wife that was killed by a drunk driver. The guy wasn't a drunk driver. The guy was not a drunk driver. And the guy had remorse to the day that he died because he was deemed a drunk driver. No, what she was doing, she just happened to veer on the wrong side of the road. And the guy lived with the remorse of killing someone, killing 2 people, his daughter and his wife, and then being accused for the rest of his life of being a drunk driver.
Okay, this guy is a proven plagiarist, right?
Yes.
Proven.
Yeah.
And a proven person who is dishonest.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect person to go, hey, we got this plan to get this guy out of here, and you're going to be the president, okay? You always wanted to be. Now you're going to get it.
Yeah.
And guess how you're going to get it? You're going to get it through dishonesty, which is you're totally cool with, and you've proven that you're cool with, not time and time again over the course of your life, right?
Yeah.
Who else for this? Who else? He's the perfect person.
He's the perfect patsy.
He's a perfect patsy.
Yeah,
He is a patsy.
He's a moron. He's literally a moron.
But he's doing it. He knows what he's doing.
No, he doesn't.
He always knew that he was going to be a president. He always wanted to be a president.
Well, he always wanted to. I mean, he became one. He became for president one 3 times.
And he became one. He's successful. He achieved what he wanted to, right? Yeah.
Well, the party achieved what they want to do using the puppet. We'll see how long he lasts and then what they do with Harris. I mean, think about this. So why did Trump choose Pence as his vice president?
Probably politics. He knows a lot about the government.
No, forget that crap. They had nothing to do with that.
Oh,
Trump is a scumbag. I love the guy. I do.
yeah,
He's a
but we're all
scumbag.
scum.
He's our
We
scum.
are all
We
scum.
are.
We're all scum.
But the thing is, he's on his 8 millionth wife with all these kids, and he screws over subcontractors, and he's a filthy billionaire, and all of these terrible things. Whatever. So he needed someone who was viewed as the opposite of that, the antithesis of his badness. And this is here along comes Pence, who's the holier than thou Christian man, who's very even keeled and everything else. They picked him as the vice president to pick up votes elsewhere, to pick up the far right, to pick up the Christian vote. That's why they picked Pence.
That's why.
That was it. To offset, to pick up the woman vote.
Hey, that's smart.
No, that's politics.
It's politics.
They picked Kamala Harris, who was the first person to lose. She was the one that the least number of Democrats wanted. The only chance that she had of picking up any votes in the Electoral College was California, which Democrats get anyway. Why the hell would you pick Kamala Harris? Camel Toe Harris, however you want to say it, and and I don't care who she blew. I don't care what she did. That's not my business. If they're consenting adults, God bless them, and they're happy, that's not my business. But the truth of the matter is, she was the worst of all of the Democrat candidates. And who said that? The Republicans? No. The Democrats said it. They didn't pick her. She got the least amount of votes. She was terrible. Elizabeth Warren got more votes than her. So it's insane to me that these are the people that got picked. So what's going on now is it's an abomination. Mm-hmm. And, hopefully our nation, thank God this is the most blessed nation on the face of the earth. It's the greatest nation on the face of the earth. We're all blessed to be living here. And the thing is, we were able to overcome FDR and his 8,000 terms and all of the stuff that he put in, which half of it was crap. We were able to overcome Jimmy Carter. We were able to come Obama and Obamacare, which is an abomination. It is like probably the biggest piece of crap bill. And I know I debated it. That's when I was running for Congress. I read the damn thing and we overcame all of that. We will overcome Harris and Biden and the whole deal because we're America and we definitely will. But at what cost? That's the question. And I would have loved to have Trump in there. And I was one of the guys that, well, maybe he could show the fraud and prove it. And that's the other thing. They said he lost every case. They never showed any evidence to any court, period. They never gave him that opportunity. So he didn't lose the cases because the evidence was not there.
There's actually still ongoing cases.
There's 3 that are going to, one next week or the week after, and then 2 the following week. So I think it's going to be Michigan, Arizona, and then Pennsylvania or whatever it is. And so they're actually going to hear those cases, supposedly. Let's see. But, I don't know if they could put the genie back in the bottle in this case. I don't think they can.
I guess the last thing I wanted to ask you about is what do you think about the riots? I'm going to make a shirt called, or not the riot, but the Capitol, the storming of the Capitol. You can't spell patriot without riot, without spelling riot.
Yeah, I guess so. But, look, I think that it was partially set up. I think there were a lot of people there that were not Trump supporters. I think, to be honest with you, if their intent was to have a riot, they sucked at it. Because when we had riots in Baltimore, when we had riots in Seattle, when they took over the city and what happened? Everything was destroyed. Everything was burnt down. They burnt down buildings. They assaulted people. They killed people. They did all of this. And what did we see happened at the riot in the Capitol? They threw papers around. They defecated on someone's desk.
Smoked weed.
Yeah, that's not a riot. I mean, they broke into the Capitol. They won. They laid siege to it. It was theirs. They overtook it. And nothing? Seriously? They're like the biggest bunch of pussy rioters I've ever seen in my life.
Well, nobody was armed.
Why not? They can be. Cops didn't stop them. And if you listen to the Senate hearing, they were all armed marauder Trump supporters that went in there.
No, everybody had
bullcrap.
They had tactical gear on, which is because they get they always, Antifa members and things like that will stab them or whatever. That's all it is. They're confusing tactical gear, which is
there was no riot. Let's call it for what it was. There was no riot. And I mean, the riots that we saw in the other cities with the Black Lives Matters movement, these animals that go out and destroy their own freaking neighborhoods, their own livelihoods, their relatives, their neighbors. They destroy everything. I don't even understand that. Go somewhere else and burn something else down of someone else's. So those were riots. This was as close as you get to a staged bullcrap as there possibly could be. And I hate sounding like conspiracy theory, but those are the facts. Nothing burnt down. Do you think not one of those guys had a lighter? I mean, seriously. They were smoking pot in there. None of the papers caught on fire. But rioters seem to burn everything down. Not one thing burned in the Capitol.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't destroy like anything.
No, nothing. They threw papers around. We saw the videos. Democrats played it all. So, I hate.
They smashed windows.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Yeah.
We had riots. We were not allowed to have statues of Christopher Columbus. They tore them down and they're shaking them. And then the funny thing was when they fell on one of the people that was pulling it down. Oh, yeah. I'm like, haha. That's kind of, Darwin there.
That was funny.
They went into the Hall of Statues. There's videos of, can you imagine rioters walking between the ropes? The velvet ropes are there on the little carpet so that they don't go near I've never seen polite rioters like that.
Yeah.
They didn't tear down the statues. They didn't do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
They didn't rip down paintings.
It's true.
I don't get it.
They just wanted to penetrate. They just wanted to get in there.
They're the weakest rioters I've ever seen in my life.
Well,
I mean, they're horrible.
Would you say that it was just what happened was kind of justified in that they all felt like they were having their voice canceled?
I think one of the biggest issues that we see today is the frustration that those on the right or Trump supporters are instantly deemed to be lying in what they're saying, and boom, they shut them down right away. And they don't have a voice. And I think that's very dangerous. I think the Black Lives Matter movement, as a movement when it started, perhaps was righteously intended to be something that would benefit those who feel like they didn't have a voice. But what happens with every one of those organizations, assholes get in there, they take it over, and they make it their vision. And I think, are there blacks today that are, discriminated against? Not like it was, but I'm sure there are. There's assholes everywhere. There's assholes that are prejudiced and look at people's skin color.
We're not that far out of, 1960s and stuff like that.
We were talking about it earlier. You're going to have people on a podcast, which is awesome. And
yeah.
They hate white people.
I'm going to have, next Friday, you guys, listen to this. Next Friday, we're going to have, and I'm going to announce it right now. Let me announce this, and I'm going to go ahead, because Enrique said, yes, he's going to do this. So if he backs out or whatever, it's on him. But he has agreed to come here. Noon Friday, we're going to have Proud Boys versus ISUPK, and that's the Israeli School of Universal Practical Knowledge. That is the oldest group. I don't even know they're the Black Hebrew Israelites. They believe that they are the true Hebrews from Israel, blacks, Native Americans, and Latin America. I guess I don't know. They could explain it, but it's basically they lump up all the minority groups together. And you said that you've had some run-ins with these folks up in New York.
Yeah, no, they were so brutal at times. And then you know what? They do things in order to...
The one thing that I wanted to say that it's funny about this is that it's going to be hilarious that Enrique, has African blood. And so therefore they're going to totally destroy him because he runs a white supremacist group, right?
That cracks me up.
It's going to be good. And then also both groups are classified as hate groups on the SPLC.
Maybe they'll cancel each other out and it'll be a love fest.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but I mean here, it doesn't matter.
It's going to be probably, I bet you $1 million we're going to be able to find common ground.
Everyone will.
We will.
I'll come over. I'll punch each one of them on either side in the face, and I'll say, that hurt, didn't it? And they're going to go, yeah.
Why?
Now, you guys, just to prove that there's common ground, because both of them will now want to beat me up for punching them in the face.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm being facetious.
You don't, but yeah, all right, yeah.
But there's always common ground.
So you had your run-ins with some of these people up in New York.
Yeah,
right?
they're not as brave as you would think when they're facing.
Why are you so, triggered by this?
I'm triggered by assholeness. I don't like assholes. I don't like
because they say they don't like white people. Or,
Yeah,
they say no. They don't. It's not about that they don't like white people. Listen, I'll give you the backstory on this. I'm actually, so we have two people in this group that work here at Fat Enzo, and I make a joke about it. You have to be in a SPLC deemed hate group in order to work here. It doesn't matter which one.
Yeah, right.
You just had to belong to
And you
one.
have your choice of both ends of the spectrum.
I hear it all day though about how like the white man is the devil and stuff like that, and I just go right along with it, having conversations. It's totally insane. I'm pretty open about that,
Yeah,
other people would not want to hear that. Okay,
Yeah.
because I mean, Jesus, but it's just so funny, man. That I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with this, but
my point is, there's assholes everywhere. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, the first this guy, one of these guys came in here. All right. It was when me and Piazza were working here, right? We had just moved down here not too long ago. And Piazza was from Boston. This guy was part of the ISUPK up in Boston. He had moved to Florida, and he came in, he goes, "You make this shirt?" And it said, "The white man is the devil the Bible speaks of." And me and Piazza looked at each other, we go, "Yeah, we'll make it. We don't care.
Yeah.
We'll make it." We made all of their merch for years.
Wow.
And then Piazza passed away. William Butler called me and goes, well, I just said his name, but he called me and goes, "Yeah, I have somebody who wants to learn, and I think he would be good." And I go, "Send him tomorrow. Send him."
Yeah.
And that was one of the guys who's been here ever since.
Yeah, no, I come in when you're not here.
And I immediately gave him a shot. I didn't think oh, you're black and give me a shot. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, send him. Send him tomorrow, And I didn't care and stuff. And these guys definitely harbor hate towards me.
Yeah, I love coming in when you're not here and talking to them.
That's going to be great next week, though. But
yeah, it should be fun.
Thank you so much for being on, man.
No, it's always my pleasure.
I appreciate it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Dude.
I love it.
All right. And that concludes By Pickles Podcast, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. And here's the outro.
He always says, "That's me." With that look on his face, he'll talk about anything. Outstanding. Tattoos, t-shirts, politics, history, and hot sauce on everything. Bobby Pickles. Pop culture, documentaries, conspiracy theories, sarcasm, and fear. It's a conversation